Terry had some questions about XYZ. I'm in mortgage and real estate. Just a little brief intro for us.
Sure. I'm Terry Robinson. I've been in mortgage banking for 30 years. Started when I was 18. I've had 2 finance companies, worked for Wells, Norwest, Loan Depot. So I'm a recovering mortgage banker, as I like to call it. So I've just teamed up with a group of guys that do a non-standard method of credit repair. My view of credit repair is I'd hide under my desk when I saw credit repair guys come in. So I'm not a pro credit repair because it never worked out really well for me. For virtually all of my clients. Actually, a lot of times I left them in a worse position. 6 months later, I'd have a valued client say, hey, you stuck me in this program and my credit has actually gone nowhere less and I'm now shy $1,500. So yeah, my experience is not so good. So story thin, a gentleman that I've known for a very long time says he's got a new process that is non-traditional, deals more with fraud remediation, identity challenges. There's so many different challenges to actually help people get them where they need to go, but not many companies know it. So his deal was, he hit me up on LinkedIn and says, I could actually help somebody in less than 30 days. And I'm like rolling my eyes like, oh God, I've heard this.
Yeah. Right.
Here we go again. So anyways, I gave him a deal from one of my loan officers. I managed a division in the Northwest. And I said, hey, let's just try this. I'm going to charge me anything up front, paid performance model, which was kind of interesting. 80% guarantee in terms of knocking everything out in 90 days or you don't pay. I said, all right, let's do it. So it actually worked out. And, over the course of about a year, I probably gave him a few hundred clients. And he actually said, I know you're getting tired of the whole mortgage business. It's not as good as it used to be.
Yeah.
Why don't you help me develop the national platform with your reach to mortgage loan officers? So that's probably a little long story, but that's
awesome. Love the background of it. I appreciate that. So still in mortgage technically, but we're kind of being a bridge between this awesome credit repair system and
actually I'm out. The last couple months I
made the transition.
I'm saying that, but yeah.
Okay. So now basically primary goal is to reach out to your contacts, mortgage industry, let them know about this amazing service. And so what does that process typically look like? Are they directing them to phone calls? Is it just pushing them to a website, a landing page? What does the workflow for you look like? And what is the goal?
Well, that's a great question because, we live in such an attention deficit disorder world. I know that I can't read all my emails. Landing pages, I think, have become less effective. Websites are terrible. Email conversion sucks. And my view is that we have lost that authentic ability to build connections. The advantages with technology like this is, and I've done it. I used to be a BombBomb user when it rolled out way back in the day to new builders and realtors, and I crushed it with that platform. So, I think that getting a hold of our, ideal partners in referring us potential clients so they can close more deals. They're not interested in 6 months or 9 months. They're interested in right now.
Yeah.
Not meeting the credit score. Loan officers' windows are like this. What's my paycheck in the next 30 days? And I get it, That's where we come in, is that we're kind of a concierge service, a VIP. If you want to go to the front of the line, we've got a program for you. It's not traditional credit repair. So how do I connect with those people and get a very brief to the point message? And I like the platform that I was, looking at it in terms of just getting to the point with the message.
Yep.
That's what I think you need to do these days, is just get right to the point.
Exactly. Great. Okay. So appreciate that. So it sounds like education, kind of where we're reaching out to, and the purpose of what you want to do with the video is to quickly explain, get straight to the point to your audience of who you are, what you're trying to do, how you can help. What does the outreach look like right now? Is it email? I know we mentioned dismal email kind of conversion rates, LinkedIn, cell phones. What does the entire process look like right now? Tell me a little bit about that. What tools
we've done some Facebook campaigns where we had more of a consumer-facing campaign, but then we're just starting to formulate a referral partner campaign to let them know that there's a path to actually, instead of losing those deals, because the aggregate credit grade right now I'd say the word is tough. Getting a loan to the finish line is a challenge. And a lot of times it has to do with credit scores. So we can actually provide them a solution. So, whether it be Facebook, direct emails with personalization, or maybe a text, or any of those formats, we like to take a one-on-one approach and let them get to know us. So they can actually just, in whatever format they want, if they want to have a chat, if they want to stay on Facebook and use the system, stay right there, and we can talk about it, or actually they can get on a call with either myself, the founder, who has got over 15 years of experience in this business, and he's absolutely a mad genius when it comes to what he does, or operations manager, whatever it is. If they want to, figure out who are these dudes, because they've heard this story before. Are these guys legit? You want to jump on a quick call? That's fine.
Yeah. I think your story in particular is very powerful for the audience you're reaching out to because of your background, your knowledge, just what you told me. Like, I'm sold, So I think that's going to be a really powerful story that you definitely want to include here on your outbounds. Okay, so let me go ahead. I'm actually going to jump into a little screen share here at this point, provide a quick recap of what your questions were, kind of the best ways we would provide a solution for something like that. Let me go ahead and do that here. Actually, let me turn off my little banner here. And then we're going to show the screen. All right. Can you see my screen here?
Yep.
All right. So the way that the platform works is and we can create the videos however we want. Or actually, let me go ahead and switch just to this guy. So we can create the videos however we want. The cell phone actually has a really cool mobile app, so you can do some things like start the camera facing you, switch to the back camera, pause it, add emojis, lots of really cool stuff on the mobile app. You can also just use any cell phone camera and record a video like you regularly would. Also, any videos from outside sources like a videographer, like a professionally produced commercial, anything like that, we can upload to the platform. We also have some recording function built in. What email system are you usually using, like a Gmail or an Outlook or a CRM?
Gmail. Yeah,
Gmail?
Yeah, Google Suite.
Okay, cool. So let's talk about that. So as I mentioned, the mobile app, we also have a Chrome extension, which is this guy right here. It allows you to create screen recordings. So it has a little webcam feed of you down here. It could also be a profile picture, whichever one you want to use. There's also some annotation and screen recorder controls. So if I have things like a contract or a website navigation or a proposal or whatever I need to provide a visual here, it can just be done very quickly. Just hit the button. Here's the annotation tool, so I can say, click here for this, sign here. This is what this line means, so on and so forth. I can also expand this guy and say, hey guys, I have something really important to tell you, and then jump back into just the webcam there. So that's the screen recorder. And then there's also a Gmail add-on. So if you see right inside of Gmail, there's this little dub icon there. And the way that guy works, you just give it a click, gives you access. Actually, refresh this page real quick. So that dub icon, as long as you have the dub Chrome extension installed, that's this guy right here, you will have that dub icon automatically available inside of Gmail. And the way it works is all I have to do is give it a click, gives you access to your library of existing videos. So say if you've already recorded something, so things like frequently asked questions, you have that stuff. Like I have a little series of videos here that are Darius tutorial videos, and these are tutorials about how to do certain things on the platform. So if I wanted to include one of these, all I can do is just click on the video itself. I can put the first name on it, so video for Bob, and insert that. So that's how you would send an existing video from your library. Really just quick, insert it from your extension. You can also record brand new videos right here as well. So I can record a webcam only video or a screen recording from the extension and then insert it through that add-on. So that's how we would create the videos, basically either through the mobile app, webcam, screen recorder, or any type of video you want. Basically any video you can upload to the platform or create on it, and then it's ready to go. So now what happens when we're sending this video? So this is what it looks like in an email. You have the animated GIF with a fallback button. It also has that personalization text with their first name on it. But what if you're sending this through a different channel like LinkedIn or Facebook or text message? So through an SMS, it's going to look a little bit different here. You'll see, you saw this example. It's a still thumbnail with a link to the video. That's what it can look like in SMS. It's going to be similar on both LinkedIn and Facebook as well. So for LinkedIn or Facebook, it's going to have that still thumbnail image along with a link to the landing page, or the video page, I should say. So let me just pop in there. It's going to look something just like this here. So it shows a little still thumbnail with the link to the landing page. Inside of Facebook, again, it'll be a little bit different. It'll show the link and the still thumbnail. It won't show the title. So that's, like I said, every little channel is just slightly different. LinkedIn will show the title to the videos. Facebook Messenger and text messages will not, though.
Okay.
So that's what we've talked about what it looks like in either text message or Facebook. Now, what happens when they click either the image or the link is it takes them back to a Dub video page, except for it's going to be all your own stuff here. So instead of, our URL or our logo, all your own branding, custom background image. Really, the main purpose of using video is, to get people to take action. It's, to maybe to educate them a little bit, to inform them, maybe to entertain them even slightly. But ultimately, it's to get them to do something very specific. And that's really what we've done with the features on this page, is try to optimize it for that. So what I mean by that is a couple of things. One is the playlist feature and the CTAs. So for example, here's a video we have on hand for our inbound leads. So someone raises their hand. It's kind of like yourself here. You're like, hey, I have an interesting video. So I signed up for a free trial. You get this video, which is kind of like an irresistible offer. It's saying, hey, we'd love to set you up with a free plan, free consultation. We're going to teach you how to use video for your business. So that's what we like to call an irresistible offer. This works really well for those prospecting and inbound and outbound messaging for our leads that are doing that kind of colder outreach. Because in the cold space, we want to be really concise and punchy and compelling. So as I mentioned, an irresistible offer. What's the best thing you can hit them with in an elevator pitch, a very short time frame? What's the most compelling statement you can give someone to want them to take an action? So what happens at the end of that, though, because often in sales and in marketing, we want as much personalization as we can. So if you guys have like a specific contact you're trying to reach out to, like a mortgage network of a large number of users, or maybe it's a contact you personally know that has this large audience, and you want to reach out to them with a really personalized message saying, hey, first name, it's been a while since we spoke. I just wanted to tell you about something. But then the bulk of that message is repeatable. So what happens here at the end of that custom video is it transitions into that next video without needing to click or do anything. So for our sales guys across all of our users, what they'll do is they'll have that first video saying, hey, first name, wanted to reach out to you specifically based on X. Here, check it out. And then it goes into a pre-recorded message saying, here's who we are, here's what we do, here's our value proposition, our basically an explainer video, lots of different stuff we can put here. Like our particular product there's a lot going on. So we have a 5-minute explainer video here. For something like yourself, it would be much shorter. It would just be like that story you told me. That was maybe 90 seconds or so. Or like maybe a little bit of an edited version of that. So you have that little statement just wrapped up nice and tight with some maybe stats in there saying, it's working with, you mentioned some stats actually, not this 6-month time frames. We're talking 90-day, 30-day time frames. So again, really compelling, punchy. That's what would go in these first videos. We can also put things here like testimonials or client success stories or case study. Using Dub, we can actually collect those really easy. So say if you guys had some clients that'd be willing to go on video, kind of like what you did for me here at the beginning of the call, we could actually collect that without needing anyone to download or sign up or install anything. So say if you had a client that it worked really well with, you could send them a video or send one video to all those clients saying, hey guys, really would appreciate it if you could leave us a little testimonial. Just click the button below. And all they have to do is click it. They don't need to download or sign up or install anything. And it's going to allow them to send that video to you, which you can then download. You'll see here video replies. You can download these. You can put them on a playlist. You can embed them on a website, whatever you want to do. So that is basically the playlist function of this here, is to deliver more content to them in an automatic way without them having to do anything. So lots of ways we can leverage the playlist itself. The idea is not having to go into iMovie or Adobe After Effects or whatever and produce these, because that's what the alternative is we have to go and splice multiple clips together, and it ends up being a lot more work. When we're trying to be efficient, we have the personalization, but then we also have the production value of like a pre-recorded message. Okay, the next thing is the CTAs, which are call to actions, which is actually the buttons here. We can program these to do just about anything we want. The ones you see here are really specific for this page and this purpose, which, as I mentioned earlier, is the idea of using video is to get that person to take a specific action. So for me, for this page, as I mentioned, it's an inbound lead conversion. So I'm looking to set an appointment. So this is a direct integration with my calendar. They can book an appointment right from there. But what happens if they're not quite ready for that? This is the lowest hanging fruit. That's what we want. But if they're not quite ready for that, we have some other things here on the page to either warm them up to that conversion or to get another type of conversion, which maybe isn't as steep as this one. So like this one here, this is our customer success. It goes to just a testimonial video page, lots of testimonials from lots of different clients. And so that typically works well at that middle to bottom of funnel kind of stage. So you mentioned you reach out to a lead. Like, okay, what you had to say in the video was interesting. What you told me, okay, man, 30-day window, maybe 90 days. That sounds much better than 6 months. So they're interested, but they're not quite ready to book. Maybe you have something on the page for them to consume, whether that's, like I said, testimonial, client success stories, or maybe even it's just visiting the website or something else, whatever you have in terms of assets that you guys have developed. What do you have that's going to help convince someone of something at that point? Maybe it's another video, or maybe it's a phone call, like you mentioned. And then also the buttons can be programmed to do just about anything you'd want in the digital space. So they're not limited to these ones here. This one, as I mentioned, is a direct integration with any calendar service. So if you guys are you currently using a booking software like Calendly, Acuity, something like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Which one?
MeetFox.
MeetFox, F-O-X?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, F-O-X, yeah.
Yeah, I actually haven't heard of that one. I'm surprised. I've heard of probably 100 of these things. So very well likely we can get the
calendar. That was an AppSumo lifetime.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, we could probably get the calendar down here. And like I said, Book Like a Boss is another AppSumo one. That's what this guy is here. This is a Book Like a Boss calendar. So cool. Yeah, very well can likely get that right on here. The other things we can do are have them fill out a form, download an attachment, visit a URL, and then as I mentioned, that video collection feature as well. Also things like a direct phone call or text message button. All those will only work on a mobile device. Those buttons only show on mobile as well.
I was just going to ask you about that, a click to call action.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we can set up a button to click to call or text when they're on their mobile device. If they click the text message button, it opens up their text message app, their default app, with your phone number already in there. So they just have to type a reply. And the phone call one does the same thing. They hit the phone call button that opens up their default phone app with your phone number in the field. So all they have to do is hit call.
Very cool.
Yeah, but as I mentioned, those do only appear on mobile. So if I attach them to this video and I'm looking at it on a desktop, I won't actually see those buttons because they wouldn't work. But if I'm looking at it from my cell phone, they will appear.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so now we've talked about some customization of it. So first was the creation, whatever we want using our tools or your own. And then the customization of it is both what the video looks like when we're sending it over. So, we can make this thumbnail be anything we want. We can put their first name on it. The thumbnail can be something completely separate from the video. So like it doesn't have to be the first 3 seconds. It can be the last 3 seconds, or it can be a completely separate image or GIF from the video. There's that level of customization. And then also on the video page itself, which is the idea of getting to use the video to get, and the assets kind of with it to take a specific action, which is the customization. And then the other thing we do is, as a company, what we do is provide as much coaching and support as our users need. So we basically make sure you guys have all the best practices and things like that attached. So whatever shortcuts you're using, like we mentioned, Gmail, we just provide step-by-step instruction of here's how long your videos should be based on what assets you have. Here's what you should be saying. Here's what buttons you should have, things like that. So what we do as a company is provide the service, and then we provide all the support you need to really make sure you're getting the most out of it, because after all, your success is our success. So that's probably the quick version of how the platform and us as a company operates.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite even a step up from, I haven't used BombBomb in a very long time, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So BombBomb is where we kind of got our groundwork from. What we realized is they have an awesome tool, but there's maybe some shortcomings that we've heard from audience feedback. And what we did is build out our features and our support, based on what we heard was shortcomings from our competitors.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. It's like you kind of filled in some of those gaps.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of the best use cases in terms of, thanks for the overview, but that was good. That was awesome. So in terms of, and all the users that you have, what are some of the sweet spots in terms of length of time for videos. Some of the things that are like minor tweaks on, how the image, you use certain image, maybe somebody waving, something grabbing their attention because you got to get them like that.
Exactly.
What are some of the more interesting things you've seen people do that are like, okay, that really works?
I would say it definitely depends on one major thing is the volume. I would say it's completely just desperate depending on the user. Some people are very low volume. They're reaching out to C-suite. They're reaching out to executives. And those are very custom videos where they're going on somebody's LinkedIn. Here, let me share my screen again real quick. So it looks something like this usually. We're going to actually go on to their LinkedIn profile. So say if I wanted to prospect this gentleman here, I would actually be on his LinkedIn, create a screen recording here, and the video would start that way. So that way, not only the thumbnail is something interesting, it's of them, because
that's awesome.
It's not the most interesting thing, especially if they don't know us yet. So us waving, it looks better than a link, but it's not the most interesting thing we can send. So if I wanted to prospect Nate here, I'm gonna say, hey Nate, just checking out your LinkedIn here. I noticed a couple of things. We actually went to the same Marine Corps, or whatever. I noticed we had some key mutual connections, and I thought that I would reach out to you based off of XYZ. Here's a little bit more information. And then after that thumbnail where I'm on his LinkedIn, it transitions into that pre-recorded content where I talk about our product or service and how it's applicable to someone like him. So that way we still have the really custom, hey Nate, and it shows his LinkedIn profile and the thumbnail's him. That's going to give us a much higher click rate, and it's going to give us the respect, if they get to watch that video, of that executive or that C-suite individual, that we did our homework. We created something for them. We took our time to give them the respect that they've kind of earned. So that is one approach, and I would say that's definitely far more effective when reaching out to those higher level people. The other approach I've seen is just a more generic approach where, and actually I would say we probably do a good job of doing both of these, both internally and for our clients. So much of our content is recyclable. So, our tutorial videos, our explainer videos, all that's recycled because it's the same thing. Here's how Gmail works. Here's how the add-ons work, things like that. But for prospecting, we want that personal outreach saying, hey, we know you have this many users and this is what your tech stack looks like, things like that. But when we are doing things at scale, there's also some things we can do to make sure that is interesting as well. So some thumbnail best practices, so things like adding their first name, like I mentioned. This can be done at scale. So if I want to send this video to my whole list, I can either send it through Gov, or I can send it through whatever tool you guys are using for like a mass emailer. And then this same video can be sent to everyone, and it's going to have their first name on it. So if we are doing things at scale, again, the personalization, we want to do that as much as we can. So vertical specific, industry specific, job title specific, and of course putting their first names on it. And then on that video page itself, again, like one of the most important or one of the most clicked on assets here is that social proof element. So for us, it's customer success stories. For other people, maybe it's a case study, maybe it's testimonial videos or whatever it is. That tends to be one of the most clicked on things across
the path they follow once they click on that.
Yeah, so if they click on that, it's going to take them to, for you guys personally, like I said, I don't know what that might be the best thing you'd have.
Well, that's a good point because we have so many case studies of people coming in and their credit is wrecked and life is, not so good.
Yep.
And then we bring them from, 527 credit score, 696.
Yep.
Inside of 3 months. Good news is now you got a new homeowner. The loan officer just got a commission, and then they went back to the realtor and said, look, I'm doing things that the other lenders can't do. So everybody is just winning, everyone.
Yeah, so that was a really, again, a powerful story, but it's multiple components as well. So that actually would probably best be described in like a video. So the button would say, check out this case study, or, check case study. And when they click it, it takes it to a video where you're describing that whole process you just said. So here we had a client that had a 500 credit score, and this is the result. 30 days later, they're in contract. And then this loan officer now has, like I said, the story you just told, but that would be because the complexity of that would probably be best described through a video, maybe with some visuals. It's you doing a screen recording, showing either it's just like a PowerPoint.
Yeah, and we've done. We've actually taken their credit report and actually showed where they started.
There, boom. I mean, that's
where
really
they ended, and it's empirical data because it's right from the
exactly
reporting agency itself.
It's not a hypothetical. Like, this is real. Exactly.
Yep.
Very powerful. So the other thing I was describing too is because that case study that you described actually did involve everyone. It involved the mortgage lender. It involved the client with the credit repair service. So the other thing I was going to say is the social proof. What we wanted to do is tie really heavily into whoever we're reaching out to. So say if this video was just going to be seen by potential credit repairees, people that actually just need the credit repair service for themselves, the social proof would be people like them saying, hey, this service helped me amazingly. It was awesome. Whereas if you're reaching out to those loan officers, the social proof should actually be from the loan officer's standpoint. You know what I mean? So it's saying, hey, I as a loan officer, when working with this company, based just like the story you told me, I had this nightmare of all my clients getting dropped off from bad credit repair services and so on and so forth. So like I said, if this video is meant to be seen specifically by mortgage, loan officers, then the social proof has to be coming from that loan officer standpoint. It doesn't have to, but I'm saying that's the most effective way to kind of leverage that social proof, is we want it to tie into the audience that the video was intended for. Cool. And so, yeah, like I said, that is definitely something that we support with as well, in terms of strategy and things like that, for the coaching.
So I really like that. And so we got testimonial, like with our target profile LO, we got social proof from another LO. They get that video. What is the path after that you would suggest taking?
So let me actually, guys, I know you mentioned being open to calls. So is that typically where we're going to close those deals? Would be on a phone call or appointment?
Yeah. They're going to want to get to know you. They're going to want to hear your voice. And
so then what I would definitely
90% there after seeing all this. Now they just want to get on the call and say, okay, you guys are, you're right as rain, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to say,
sounds good. Now tell me what's the catch. They want to get on the call and find out what the scoop is. Yeah. Okay, so what that looks like here is we'll have that button. It'd actually be similar to how our page is set up here. So you have that low-hanging fruit, the ultimate goal for the conversion. And then we have some social proof to help them kind of get over that finish line if they're not ready there. And then you guys might have something for the more of a top of funnel, like whatever that might be. Maybe it's a visit the website. Maybe it's a landing page you guys have specifically with some more information. Or maybe it's even just a link to another video where it's you going over some more stories or things like that. Like I said, without knowing a little bit more about what we have in terms of resources, I would say that's how we're going to set up these buttons. It's kind of like top of funnel here, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. And so that's what we recommend, is to have something for wherever they're at in terms of, your sales cycle. We want something for them to do, because maybe they've already chatted with you and they're ready for that low-hanging fruit. Or maybe they have no idea what's going on or who you are, and they need to kind of be opened up to it all. And then maybe the video here or the playlist can do a job of that. Okay, so we
book the time with fill in the blank, customer success, and probably I'd want to pick a third one that gives them, maybe from our founder, truly why we're different and what's in it for finance professionals.
Exactly. That would be maybe depending upon what that is. That could go well either in the explainers or as a redirect. I personally always like to put that, explainer video, like your elevator pitch, your short, punchy, compelling, right there in the playlist, so that they have to watch it, or that they don't have to click anything else in order to watch.
Yeah, the less actions.
Exactly. Every click is a chance to kind of lose somebody. So you want to keep it as streamlined as possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so now we've talked about the majority of it. We talked about the creation, customization of these pages, the distribution through either Facebook Messenger. We actually do have I know you mentioned Facebook. We have a direct integration with Messenger, to where you can set up a button which opens a conversation on Messenger.
Awesome.
So if you have a chat bot or even a person, like a designated chat person on there, they can click that, and it's going to just open up the conversation with whoever you've designated in themselves on Messenger. There's also a Facebook kind of comment engine down here as well. I don't have mine on here, but that's visible on Facebook if you choose it as well. So a couple of integration with Facebook. And if, like I said, if you want to send them through Messenger, it's just a matter of putting the link into the Messenger, and it's going to provide a thumbnail and stuff based on the link.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. What do you have in terms of questions?
I think you just knocked it out of the park.
Got everything taken care of?
What time it is?
Nice.
That was good. That was really good. There's a lot there. I like the idea. Maybe I will potentially use some of the landing pages. Just every time I see anybody have to take one more action or fill out one more form, my numbers, at least from my view,
No, absolutely agree with you there. Every additional click, every additional form fill. I mean, I would say the clicks are definitely a lot easier to deal with than the form fill. As soon as someone has to go start typing in, they're like, I give up. So the auto fill stuff, all that stuff is really helping us along the way. And that, again, that's kind of what our platform was meant to do, was make it as easy as possible. So they get the video in their email or their text message. They click once to watch it, and then they have the buttons right there below. So they don't have to go hunt and do anything. You know, the actions you want them to take are right there for them to take.
Yeah.
That's what we try to do with that.
We were going to run some really targeted ads, towards, the finance guys, not loan officers, but it could be, anybody that's a finance professional for a big ticket item. They all have a need, whether it's a small business loan, heavy equipment that's $500,000,
Yeah.
And I'm thinking these guys, I know they're all, the successful ones are busy cats. So, we were going to generate, Facebook runs their own version of their own kind of landing page. I was watching that. I've never done one myself, but in other words, it fills all the information. They don't have to do anything. It fills that information. You can actually give them information of value, something back maybe. And I was thinking, instead of the old ebook PDF stuff, it's like blah, blah, blah. Or maybe we could actually load a pre-formatted video, so that's a response if they want information. And here's where I'm going with that. It's like, okay, so they do that. How do you take the data that is filled, by them taking that action in the Facebook form, and then pulling it into the contact manager? So then maybe you could go do a really hyper-personalized, hey, here's your LinkedIn profile. I see we used to work, back in the whoops, I shouldn't have said that. It's a bad word. Anyway, so what I was thinking is that it could really be a sniper approach. In other words, somebody target Facebook, narrow it down, they took action, then we go really super personal with them and make an invite out to them. And I love that thing that you did with the LinkedIn. I have actually, in recruiting loan officers, had their names up, where if somebody sees their name.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's exactly it.
It's just like, oh, that's me.
Yeah. What's in it for me? Yeah, that's
exactly with them every time. It works every time. So I think the LinkedIn thing, you one up me there. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
So I guess the question is, taking that data, would we have to manually input that?
So a couple of things. One is, it depends. What CRM are you using?
Right now, we're not. I'm evaluating a couple CRMs. It's just I'm going to set up some ISAs. My experience with CRMs, they were kind of like the coronavirus. They would kill everybody and everybody would run. So I'm looking at a really cool software that is just so simple. It's like it's a CRM, but it's not in a way. And I want to see if it'll integrate with some of the things that we're potentially doing here. It needs to be something that an ISA will actually use.
Yeah.
CRM is the one that gets used.
Yeah. Well, exactly. I mean, Salesforce is like the bread and butter in the sales role. We personally recommend HubSpot a lot, just because it's simple to use, or simpler. There's also a completely free version of it, which does all the basic CRM kind of functions. You can store your contacts, keep notes, use a Zapier to sync data and stuff, which I was going to say is probably what I'd recommend for transferring data from a contact to or back to a CRM. Because what we can do is, we have a direct integration with HubSpot, as well as a couple of other platforms. With a direct integration, the video reporting, like the analytics, will show back up in that contact record without needing to do anything kind of automatic. Let me go ahead and share my screen here again real quick. And there's also, like I said, the reporting section on here on Dub. So this is what that looks like is you can see specifically who's watching, what links they've clicked, who's clicking. I can filter this specifically by, clicks and views. Like if I just want to see that, I can also download this report and, filter it or sort it in whatever way I need to as a CSV file. So that in terms of manually updating or manually kind of, hunting people down as a sniper, this will allow you to do that really much more easily. So CTA clicks is generally the bottom or the lowest hanging fruit. You can also just filter it by views, and like if you want to see who's viewed 100% of the video. So that's another way to kind of identify low hanging fruit. The other thing with my reporting here, you'll see a lot of this. It doesn't say who's watching. Videos that are embedded on websites or landing pages. So like this, if you just have a video on a website, we won't be able to track who's watching it that way. So the only way we can really track who's watching the video is if we're sending it to them, either through email or text or social media. So if we're sending them the video, it's very easy to track it that way. But if it's just embedded on a website, we won't be able to see who's watching it. So that you'll notice that some of these reports here won't show who. A lot of them will. Most of my videos are not actually tracked down to that specific contact record. But if I go through here, you'll see some that are. If I send anything through Dub, because Dub has its kind of own in-house tools. So like here's an example of an email we sent to about 16,000 people. You can come in here and see specifically who's watched, what percentage they watched, if they clicked any links, things like that. So basically that's what I'm saying is you can identify prospects through the filtering, the activity reporting. Whether you're sending them through your own services or ours. So like if you're sending it through a broad, like you want to send one video to a lot of people, I highly recommend just sending it through Dub because that's the only way we're going to get that really detailed analytics and reporting. If we're sending them one at a time, like one video to one person, we can send that through any channel and still get that really detailed report.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's like I said, that's kind of what you had mentioned, getting a sniper eye perspective. We would do that through basically filtering the activity reports. It's also available on any of the add-ons as well. So like if I'm in Gmail, I can just click on the Dub icon and the activity reporting is right there available for viewing. Also in the Chrome extension. So really wherever you're at, you don't have to come to the website to view the report. I can be, doing whatever I'm doing, come into the Chrome extension, view the reporting there. I can see, oh, he watched my video. Let me follow up with him now.
On the email, is it going to just say open? Because I did a test and I sent it out to a couple of people, and then I put it in a text, and I went to analytics, and I saw, who opened it, where they were, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
The question not so much is in open. In other words, I want to know who's actually viewed the video. Did they open and bounce? Did they open and watch? What percentage of what they watched and all that? Can you talk to that a little bit?
Yeah. So, okay, let me give you an example. I'll probably actually just do something live. Let me make sure I got some time here. I'm just going to check my calendar. Make sure I have enough time to do this one. Okay, cool. So here we go. We're going to send this to me, and we're going to track it. So the important thing here is to enter the email for tracking. Okay, so if we're sending a video to one person at a time, it's really crucial that we enter their email for tracking. This can be done either on the website or through the add-on. So like if I'm in here, I want to insert a video, enter the email for tracking there. So wherever I'm at, I have that field to enter the email for tracking. But that is a crucial step. If I'm sending one video to one person, I do need to enter their email for tracking. Unless the video is just for them, like I recorded a video just for them, then it's not such a big deal because I know that if the video gets watched, it was them who watched it. Okay, so let's see here. Test. Let me make sure I got that in there right. No. Okay. And then so now what I'm going to do, because the way our tracking works is if you're sending it to yourself, it will automatically not track it. And that's to, so we don't have false reports. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come on my mobile device, turn off my Wi-Fi, And then if I open up that email, it has to be on a different device while connected to a different internet. And now here, I'm going to go ahead and watch this on this guy. And you'll see the reporting come in here in a second. So yeah, the reporting will show you specifically what percentage of the video that they watched, if they clicked any links, things like that. So I'm going to click some of these buttons. I'm sorry, getting a phone call. Okay. So I clicked some links, stuff like that, and now we'll see in the reporting here. It says the customer success CTA was clicked by Darius. The schedule a meeting CTA was clicked by Darius. And if I watch the percentage of this video, it'll tell me specifically what percentage that I watched. So if I watched, here, I'll watch like 50% of it or so. And then close out of this.
So did I send that the right way on my first initial attempt? Because I did put in the email the person on that window. The thing that I didn't see is it just said opened. That's the only analytics that I got.
That's the only thing you saw was an open. You didn't see any of the clicks or anything like that?
Not yet, no. Just
okay. Well, if you're not seeing anything else, it's most likely that they didn't take any additional action yet. If it's just showing an email open. The other thing is, we can also have some false email open reports. You can see here it says email open a bunch of times. Obviously, I didn't just open the email over and over. There's what's called like spiders or bots. So like if you send an email, Gmail and Amazon, they're previewing these emails before they get sent. Do you know what I mean? Like Google knows what the contents of your email is before you open it. So it is technically being opened, and that email open tracking pixel that we have, that will get triggered when it's doing a preview.
Yeah.
So you'll have a lot of email opens and then they didn't actually click. But if you're seeing a link click, then that was they who actually clicked it. So anything beyond an open was a real action taken by somebody.
Yeah, I'm logged in right there. Let's see on the back end. It says open, email opened by the name of the person, San Jose, California, an hour ago. That's all it says.
Okay, then yeah, then I would say that may not have actually been opened. It was probably just a preview, like a Gmail or an email application that does a preview of the email and didn't actually open.
Yeah, I mean the person's in Southern California, but maybe he's in San Jose today. So that was.
Yeah, I mean it could have been like a test or something as well. And like, you said you did email this to someone specific though, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The other thing here is you've heard fortunes in the follow up, right? Well, it's huge with video as well. Would have at a glance you can kind of see your reporting. So like if I go in here and I can see if they viewed or not. Many of these, like I said, videos were not meant for anyone to be viewed. They're just little examples. That's why they're not sent or anything. But if I was sending videos out and I can look at a glance and see if they've been watched or not yet, and if they haven't, I always recommend to go and bump those people and say, hey, first name, I made a video for you. Me and my team made a video. I know there's going to be something of value in there for you. Let me know what you think. Something like that, a little bump will give you at least 50% higher play rates. I've had clients that have they've gone through and they made 10, 12 videos, only had a few plays, but then they didn't follow up, and I had them just do a simple bump on those 10 videos and had 7 or 8 of them get watched the second time around. So always recommend following up with just a simple bump though. Don't have to do a new video or anything like that. Just say, hey, I want to make sure you had a chance to see that video.
Okay.
Yeah, that will give you significantly higher play rates, probably, like I said, 50% or more. All right. Let's see. Where are we at? I think we kind of covered just about everything. We talked about the creation, customization, the distribution, and then the coaching we provide. One other thing I want to talk about, some resources. There's a little video tutorial center here. So bite-sized videos on everything the platform can do right here, including like the mobile app I mentioned. There's little bite-sized videos on how to text message the videos, how to email them from the app, using the app itself, how to add subtitles, you name it. If there's a section for it over here, there's a video for it over here. So that's
your cover like the the customization and branding and stuff like that. Is that?
Yeah. Actually, this first video here, this quick tutorial on Dub, will show you how to like upload your own logo, how to build up this little email signature here, some contact information, call to actions, background. This first little tutorial video there will cover the majority of all the setup stuff.
If I get stuck in terms of customer service, is the chat probably the way to go? Is that, or?
Yeah, that's what I was going through here. So first line is either the video tutorial center. There is chat support as well. There's an article database here. I always recommend just come in there first because that's all the chat support. Like if it's something real basic, like I type in how do I attack CTAs, there's going to be a bunch of articles in there, and all she's probably going to do is drop you a link to an article if it's a really simple answer. If it's a more complex thing, definitely feel free to just start the conversation. Say, hey, I had some questions about blah, 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 blah. I do recommend, like I said, searching for the article or video tutorial first, and then come into chat support if you don't think there's going to be an answer for it. And then there's also email support. And then as part of every subscription, you have access to phone and like screen share support like we're doing now.
Okay. Cool.
Good deal.
So is this your?
Here, let me close this out and then jump back in here.
Are you the creator of this, or you?
One of the very first one. I've been here since day one. So yeah, right at the ground level.
Nice.
Yeah. Sounds like you're one of the early adopters here at your platform as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I've done one or two things. I created a virtual tour company when I was like 19. That's before technology was even around. So
nice, man.
Light bulbs, not all of them went off. Once in a while, one would. So it's always been fun. I'm always trying to think about how to, skin the cat a little differently. It's fun. Yeah.
Good deal, man. All right. Well, like I say, anything else we can do for you today?
No, I think we're good. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. So any questions at all, do not hesitate to reach out. Got the chat support, email support. You have my contact information, Facebook group, whatever you need, man. Do not hesitate to reach out and we'll get you taken care of right away.
Okay, cool. Appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, boss. Have a good one. Bye-bye.